So, I just wanted to talk about what happened with Keke Palmer and her baby daddy. Okay, one, you know, it's unfortunate because he decided to take whatever concern he had or issue to the internet. And that already was problem number one. Now, if you out of the relationship, fine. Who cares? But when you're in it and you start to allow people on a grand scale of millions um, to be involved in your relationship, it's just crazy and never good. It's never good. It's never good. Especially when you do things of the fashion of speaking your mind and venting, but in front of millions of people, um, and with intentions to get a response or with intentions to not get a response. Either way it goes, you just cannot do that in relationships. And I have seen so many beautiful relationships end because of internet. And that's just so many different people having their opinions about your relationship. And it's one thing if they have an opinion about the relationship, but it's a whole different thing if they have an opinion about the relationship and you actually take the time out to read it, to follow up, to take in whatever someone else says. Now, if you said what you said, you didn't care about what anybody else says, then it doesn't matter. Who cares? It's not a big deal. But if people are responding, you're reacting, you're reading, you're following up, you're taking it in, then it's going to be a different reaction. Now, as for Miss Keke, now Miss Keke already laid it straight that she doesn't put her personal business out on the internet, social media. Why? Because she's been doing this for a very long time. She knows how it works. I actually used to live with Keke Palmer, and not live together, but we lived in the same exact building in Encino. Um, and me, her, and actually Black China were all in the same building, and it was just such a beautiful thing to witness because all three of us were on it, and I'm talking about on it, building empires and building legacies and building greatness, and seeing the work ethic that went behind Black China, seeing the work ethic went behind Keke Palmer, and just even seeing the work ethic go behind Monique Satina. But seeing these three hardworking, driven Black women that are up and coming, my God, the type of work and effort that's put in. Uh, it's not easy. And to see how hard Keke has worked for a very long time. She's been very private as well, but very down to earth and cool. Person, very cool, very, very cool. I remember when I first met her, she was like, "Girl, your skin is popping. Lord, what is on your skin? It got your skin popping like that." And I had to tell her, "Girl, I mixed this with that, and then boom, 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 pop, and you're popping." She was like, "Thank you, thank you so much." So that was my first interaction with her, running into each other on the elevator and everything like that at our building. And again, like I said, beautiful person, inside and out. So this one was really shocking for me because I was just like, what? But I had already saw, that she was dating a guy that, we would potentially put in the category of dating down. And, I just have to speak on dating down. It's not a good thing, and I have had my experiences of dating down. And I always dated up. I always dated up. I always dated up, baby. I always dated up. I always dated up. I always dated me a professionally fabulous man, and I can look back on a nice amount of my exes and look at the type of men they were, and that they are, and very successful, headstrong men, family men, and things like that, But that was really what I was attracted to and what I dated. And I look back, and those were honestly the least problematic. Now, yes, maybe they might not have been faithful. They might have done these other things, but they were not crazy. My God, and they knew how to stay in line, I guess I would say, and stay in their lane. But particularly when you date down, especially when you are a woman of great success, it never seems to work out well, okay? Now, in your mind, you think dating down is going to be beneficial for you because you're like, you know what, I can be able to share these things with this person. I could be able to help mold them into something that could be great for me, and teach and show them. But that's never how it ends up turning out, unfortunately. And for me, I always, like I said, dated successful people. I dated, high-end men or whatever like that. And I remember I was dating an NFL player from the Seahawks or whatever, and I was with him for about 3 years. And after that had ended, I said, okay, you know what? Clearly, I like athletes, okay? I like football players, okay? I like to be tossed around a little bit. Not physically, but, in the bedroom, I'm thinking, whatever. But anyway, I had to really take the time to realize, okay, I like this. Okay, that's, okay, you like that. You're attracted to that. So what can you do with that? Okay, so in my mind, I said, okay, well, maybe dating someone my age or older, look, they've been there, done that. You're not going to be able to help guide or change this guy. So you should date younger. And then if you date a little bit younger one, then you can kind of, show them the ropes, and it could be a little bit easier situation here. I tried that. And so my son's father is a younger version of an NFL player, And at the time when we were dating and I actually got pregnant, he was still in college. It was his last year of college football in school. But nonetheless, I got pregnant in that time frame. And it was not the best because I was completely dating down. And I had also got pregnant with someone that was down. And at that time, my son's father hadn't even joined the NFL or anything like that. So, I had to go through trials and tribulations of dating someone that was younger than me, and absolutely less mature than me by far. And with having the level of success that I had, and then dating someone younger, there was a portion of people that felt like I was trying to take advantage of him, which was crazy whenever the boy chased me down. But I had to go through that process. And then once he got into the NFL, then it was this whole ego of now I'm better than you that he felt the need to have. And it was interesting because it was like, wow, how do you feel that you're better than me, sir? I've been kicking up dust in entertainment since I was 14, 15, and I actually, booked solid roles at the age of 17. I've been doing this probably about a good, 8 to 10 years before, you stepped into my life, sir. So, whether you sign on the dotted line of a contract with the NFL today, honey, I have 10 years of success over you, you know. But just him getting that little, inch. I mean, it's not a small inch, it's a pretty big inch, with the NFL. But him getting that door open, he just felt like he could pump his chest out. And in that moment, I realized this is what happens when you date below. Because all it takes is for that person that you're dating below to get a little bit of an inkling of feeling like they might be possibly bigger and better than you. And my God, they take it and run with it. So that was one of my experiences with dating low. Now, I also had another experience with dating my other ex that I recently stopped dating about. It's almost actually about to be 2 years now. 2 years flew by pretty fast. But this guy, actually worked at the post office. Another side note. Also, they say, don't date postal people because they will go postal. That is a very true fact, okay? But yeah, I dated him and I was dating under, and I felt like, okay, you know what? Dating under would be a good thing. I don't have to worry about, him having this money and him trying to use money to get women and the clout chasing. And, he's just a regular guy that works a regular job and wants to take care of his family in a regular way. And I said, wow, this is beautiful. This is a regular life, beautiful thing. Let's do this. Now, regular is fine and it works for regular people. But regular does not work for people who are not regular. And baby, there's nothing about me that's normal, regular, basic. None of that. Everything about me is unique, wonderfully made, extraordinary, special, spectacular, amazing, one of a kind, rare, and significant. I fall into the categories of all of that. You can't mix regular with great. That don't go together. And it will try. It will try as long as it can, but then there'll come a day that one day that person that was regular realizes that they are just regular and you are fantastical, and they don't like it, and they will let you know. And that's when it gets dangerous, actually, in real life, very, very dangerous, and, jealousy and envy is a very thing, because it's one thing for someone to be jealous and envious of you, and they do it behind closed doors. It's very secretive. They kind of harbor it inside, but it's a whole other thing for someone to be jealous and envious and harbor it inside and plotting on how they gonna hurt you. And that's actually a nice amount of people. People will bite their tongue, but deep down inside can't stand you. They can't stand looking at you. They hate everything that you do when you talk. They hate the attention you get, especially if it's a man. They hate the attention you get, whether it's from other men, whether it's from other women, whether it's just period. They can't stand the fact that people run up to you and compliment you, give you hugs, say this and say that, and completely act like they don't exist. And it's not that people are intentionally doing that. It's just that they don't see anything great coming off of you. They see something great coming off of that one person, so they're going to just run over to that one person and say, hey, you look good, girl. I love that outfit. You're working it out. Body looking great. You looking good, Keke. And so for him, Keke's always got an attention, but baby, Lord have mercy, Jesus on his soul. That baby did her yes. That's one thing a baby would do, baby. A baby would make you look all right in all the right places. And the baby came and it just let all of it. I mean, because Keke, she never was a small breast, woman, but I mean, she was in the A-cup family with me. Now, baby, Keke done filled out in all the right places, okay? Them things is thinging. That thing in the back is thinging too. She's just popping and pop locking and dropping, and I'm here for it, okay? I love it, and she is a prime example of what I say all the time to little girls out there. Baby, you want to get all this surgery and get your boobs done and get all this and get all that, because you're younger, you 17, 18, you ain't did nothing yet. So you ain't gonna have a body yet. Give it some time. Live life. Let things happen naturally. And Keke is a prime example of letting things happen naturally. Live life. Go ahead, you get pregnant, you have that baby, and let the Lord bless you. And that's what it did. The Lord blessed it, Lord. The Lord blessed it. Keke been looking good. Yes, Lord. But that's a prime example of what I'm saying. Let God do it. Y'all want to be in these hospitals and these doctor beds, letting these doctors go ahead and chisel on you. Let the Lord chisel on you. Let the Lord put a baby in you and let it fill out the way it's supposed to. Because when it do, Lord, you're breaking the internet like Keke Palmer. You got your baby daddy acting a fool. But this is a prime example of that. And so Keke is out here looking good, and this baby daddy don't know what to do because he just remember he fell in love with A cups and don't give me don't come for me, Keke, and the surf girl body, okay? It was cute, but it wasn't given the way it's given right now, Lord. So he don't know what to do with it, okay? He don't know what to do with it. He don't know what to do with it. He like, okay, look, I was used to Keke, and nobody was really paying attention to Keke, okay? And then I came on the scene and dropped that bang on it and that. You know what I'm saying? And got it looking good, it's looking thick, filling out, put my baby up in it. Now she done turned into the woman that I always knew that she was going to be, Lord. And now they're rubbing up on it, and now they paying attention to it. Now, oh, Usher, oh, you gonna come out too? Oh, you know what? You better not even try it. So, instead of him going for Usher and all these other men that's coming for her, he was like, get your ass in the house. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm laughing this hard because you be laughing this hard. That nigga said, get your ass in the house. I'm sorry, I can't breathe. He is going through it. Lord. Lord, Lord, Lord. And you can't date under. This is what happens when you date a man or even a woman that's under. It is really a thing for people to both be successful and great in theirs. Because when you're both great in your own thing, you don't have time to be worried about the next person, okay? You know, you're not. You're not. You're not. Was David Beckham and Posh Spice ever worried about each other? Because David Beckham fine in the motherfucker. Woo, Lord. And Posh Spice, she fine in the motherfucker too. Okay? I mean, she is too. You know, and those they have a great relationship, great marriage. Why? Because they both great in their own thing and they both do their own thing greatly. You know, Sierra and Russell. He a great football player. She's a great musical artist. You know, you put those two together, you got greatness. You know, you got a power couple. You know, ain't nobody hating on nobody. Because, look, just as good as Russell look is just as good as Sierra. If Sierra wanted to go left today, Sierra can go left. And if Russell wanted to go right, he go right. And they both be just fine. You know, and that's the thing. You know, you know, in your mind, especially as a successful woman, and having a strong, powerful demeanor, and make your own bread and butter. You know, you think in your mind that, okay, if I date a little town, I get with a guy that's like this, you know, he'll respect me, he'll be here with me, he'll honor me, you know, I mean, he don't get no better than me, you know, he's going to be faithful and loyal to me, and yes, he will do those things, but also, he's going to feel like, hey, you are mine, and ain't nobody about to have this now. I don't got a Keke, this mine, ain't nobody about to have it. Now, for him, he like, ain't nobody about to have this, and then on top of that, he know that his thing, and that good loving he been giving you, you know, and that baby that he done put in you, don't got you to be feeling out and looking as good as you do. So he really feel like, hold on now, that's my woman. That was my girl at one point, but I turned her into a woman. That's my baby, and that's my family. And we don't know what been in this man's mind, you know, about as far as marriage and things like that. And it's really honestly none of our business to be concerned about what they plans are with marriage and family and things like that and what they've talked about. We don't know. But nonetheless, you know, if he is dating under, I know he probably, you know, trying to get his finances and his money together so he could be able to put a ring on it. I would hope. I would hope. I would really hope. But nonetheless, we don't know where his situation is. But nonetheless, in his mind, this is his family. This is the love of his life. And that's his baby. And as a man, men are protectors. And men are predators. And men are, you know, look, a lion see another lion trying to turn up on his lioness. He about to pounce on that man. And so for him, instead of him pouncing on that man, he pounced on Keke. And that was where he went wrong. Because you pounced on the wrong one. Now, you might feel some type of way about the outfit. I'm not going to get too much in that outfit situation thing because I feel like it comes from both sides, but I do think that, you know, I just think it's a buildup of things. I think it's just the amount of attention she's been getting all at once. It is all, I mean, since she dropped the baby, she came out looking good, filling out these outfits differently. It just has been a different type of reaction and attention. And for him, he's not used to that for Keke. He's used to people saying, hey, Keke, love you, girl. But it's now, woo, Keke, Lord Jesus. And Lord knows all kinds of other comments that he's probably hearing people say on the sidelines, that he's just having to overlook. So it's a buildup. This is a buildup. This isn't something that just out of nowhere he just said, okay, I'm mad today. No, this is a buildup of things. And he took it out in the wrong way and in the worst way, to be honest. And if anything, he should have said something to Usher and been like, bro, I'm gonna need you to back up, bro. I know you married and everything, but I'm gonna need you to back up off mine. And then the things would have went a little bit differently. But it still would have been a little suspect still, because it would have been like, come on now. But it would have went a little differently. But because he decided to attack her when she had nothing to do with it besides show up and be sexy and have a girls' fight at an Usher concert, yes, and she's feeling herself. And, people have to understand, it is, I'm applauding Keke for that, because for me, it took my mentor to call me and to tell me to get up and put some lingerie on so that I could feel better about myself, as a new mom, because I was, I didn't even know I was feeling down, but I was feeling and looking down. I was looking a hot mess, and it was for my mentor to tell me to get up, put some lingerie on, put some hair, put makeup on, do my hair, for me to snap out of it, because I was almost to the point of losing myself, and I had the extra weight on. I wasn't caring about working out, and he had to snap me out of it. Like, get up, go work out, pull yourself together again. And once I did, I had to go through the process of getting used to having this new body and new weight and breastfeeding and just all these different things, and how it was changing, how I felt, how I looked, and it's challenging, especially if you're in entertainment as a model or an actress, you already have the pressure of how you have to look and act and present yourself. Now you have a whole new body. It's a whole new thing that you have to get acclimated with. So it's not an easy task. So I can understand how her having the extra weight and feeling curvy, and other people being like, ooh, yes, but for her, she's not used to this extra stuff. So it's like, how do I get used to it? I want to still feel like, okay, I got it. I'm a mama. I still got it. I'm still cute. I'm still sexy. And then even now that you're starting to see that, you feel like, okay, now I got a booty and I got a breast and I got a body. Okay, wait a minute now. I can be sexy now. Okay, before I had to be classy and Keke, but now I can be sexy Keke. I ain't never been this. So it's also a beautiful expression, feeling within your own self as a woman, when you get to experience those things that you grew up with and seeing so many other women have, and you being like, well, I ain't got that, I can't wear that, and then all of a sudden you got it. Now you're like, wait a minute, nah, I can actually really put that on. I actually can fill out this dress in my bust area, and those things. So you want to play around and experience and explore with different outfits and things too, because it's a new experience for you too. And so I think, how dare anybody, interrupt that moment for her, and I don't think many can understand, but I can understand being a woman that was skinny and petite and had a child, and all of a sudden filled out and had this new curvaceous body and was like, wow, okay, baby did me right, you know what I'm saying? Hey, it's a beautiful thing, and it's a new thing that you have to get acclimated to as well. So the pressure is not only just on, it's on everybody with a new baby, um, and so this is something that should have been talked about and discussed 1000% behind closed doors. But unfortunately, now that it's been spoken about in the public, it's not going to be a very nice moment for these people. And I'm really sad, because I was really rooting for them. I just saw Keke and I said, ooh, yes, Keke, go ahead, baby, with your bad self. Every time I kept seeing her, just being like, I'm so happy and proud of her. You know, and I really felt like, you know, and it's sad because he exposed himself in this way because we had no idea. You know, for me on the outside looking in, I really said, man, she really found herself a good guy. You know, a guy that's comfortable with her success, her being as big as she is, confident, you know, as she is, you know, just so enamored with her greatness and still sticking behind beside her. And he's, you know, has a deep voice. I'm like, she don't got her a manly man. Okay, you know, he looked tall and big hands. Like, Lord, he probably tossing around. Yes, Lord, you don't found you a man. And I just was so happy for her. I said, a man that's content and happy with you being a strong and powerful woman. I was really, really happy with her and really felt like she had found somebody great. But this little moment unfortunately showed him in his hidden insecurities, and it makes me nervous and concerned because the ex that I was dating that went postal had those hidden insecurities. And little did I know that this same exact person was willing to steal my paperwork documents out my home and steal my social security, do things fraudulent with my credit, do things fraudulent in my name, commit frauds throughout the U.S. with my name, uh, stalking me, harassing me, putting hidden cameras in my home, recording me while I had sex with him because I am an actual celebrity to try to sell on the black market. Selling my pictures that I might have sent him, or even just behind the scenes video shoots of me, you know, half naked or whatever, and putting it up on the dark web and selling it. Yeah, oh yeah. Having people mess with my car so that I would be driving and I could get into a wreck and be killed on the road. Sending people to my house, different men to befriend me, to try to poison me and to kill me. I mean, this level of envy, jealousy, and hate turned to the point where a person is trying to kill me. So, dating under, it's a no-go. And, you know, I hate to say this because I didn't want to see these people to break up because I saw them as such a beautiful thing. But if a man can go in front of millions of people and say what he said, it's only a matter of time before he's Bobby and Whitneying you. And you're doing surprise parties for him and saying, I love you. And he comes in drunk and high and spits in your face after you spent $1 million on a surprise party for him. That's jealousy and envy. Or better yet, let's talk about Ike and Tina, right? And Tina Turner would come out and people would applaud her more than Ike. He would snatch her arm and tell her, sit your ass down. It's about Ike, not Tina. You know what I'm saying? That's where those things go. Unfortunately. So, I don't want to see them breaking up. Especially for that baby, that poor innocent child. And like she said, that beautiful baby that was made from love. But it's unfortunate that she might have to part ways for the simple fact that her safety might be compromised. Because envy and jealousy goes way deeper than I don't like you and I hate my baby mama. I don't like my baby mama. Envy and jealousy gets you killed. Like Selena. Yeah, the Mexican superstar. Her right-hand man, right-hand lady, yeah. That's the one that killed her. The one that was right there that she thought and loved, that was her best friend that she thought had her back, was envious of her entire life and existence. That she took her life. That's what envy and jealousy does. So I don't want to see them broken up. But if I had to say what was healthy, if I had to say what so far his actions and how it could play out later on, she might have to run for the hills. She might have to. Because if he has an underlying issue that isn't dealt with and healed, that can really be a problem. And I pray to God that that's not her problem. I pray to God that no one has to ever experience what I've had to experience, of running for my life from city to city and state to state from someone who is that envious and jealous of the success. This ex, goes on social media, says nasty things on my internet pages, goes and tries to get my accounts flagged and shut down. I mean, it's just extremities of what these people or this person that's been jealous, an ex, has done to me. I would never wish that on a million years on Keke Palmer or any other woman for that matter. But I wanted to say all this to say that there's a very big issue of dating down. And dating down could possibly cost you your life. And ladies, let me tell you, it's never worth it. You want to always date equally yoked. Okay? And that's biblically. Okay? But you want to meet somebody right where you're at. That's why it's important to not just to sit back and just be in your purpose, be in your thing. What is it that the talent and the gift that God has placed inside of you to be in it, to walk in it, to ride in it, and to meet somebody along in it, so that you guys can do life together. Meeting somebody where you guys are both elevated in your greatness and you guys come together as a force to create a power couple is where it's at. Because anything else besides that, unfortunately, could be very, very dementing. Excuse me. And I think that goes for men and women. Because even men think, hey, I can be the breadwinner and I can date someone less than. And that's fine. But I don't want to hear you crying wolf later on whenever you divorce her and she takes $800 million of your dollars, Tiger Woods. I don't want to hear you getting upset. Because when you date down, that's what you get. When you date someone who has their own money and their own finances and their own resources, then you guys are coming together and figuring out how can we separate the two great things that we have together. Or, hey, you came in with what you came in, I came in with what I came in, let's both leave with what we came in with, or whatever, vice versa, and call it a day. And we'll both leave with what we came in with and split whatever we created together. Bada boom, bada bang, bada bing. Done. But, and I'm not even here to say that there should even be a breakup, but if there is a breakup, that's how it should work. But nonetheless, if you're both coming in and you're both elevated, great, and grand, there's little to less competition. What are we competing for? Shit, you good, I'm good. I'm the king over here, you the king over there. Cool. We should be good. But unfortunately, you still get some people that is like, okay, well, you A star status and I'm B star status. So now I must be a little jealous because you A and I want to get A, and it's just honestly crazy. Because a lot of times people don't understand that because your mate is winning today, 2023, doesn't mean that that the other mate can't be winning in 2026. It might be bigger and better than the one that's winning right now. But that's the beauty of letting each other grow and growing together and getting in the greatness of each other. You know, you guys will have your moments. You know, when Beyonce and Jay-Z got together, Beyonce and Jay-Z was both hot, you know, but Jay was a little bit more hotter than B. Just a little bit more hotter than B. You know, Beyonce was with Destiny's Child, but Jay was by himself, you know, and he was a little bit more hotter than B. And then all of a sudden, B just, you know what I'm saying? But they were keeping their greatness together and understanding we both powerful out here, baby. We're the best, you know? And it's a beautiful thing. And even still with them two, you see them both still the two biggest. And you can still see sometimes there's power struggles sometimes within that, you know? But Beyonce comes from a very southern submissive family, so she knows how to be able to really put herself in a position to submit. You know, I think a lot of the other average women couldn't deal with a Jay-Z because they're not going to be submitting in that way. You know, and that's a whole nother story for another day. But nonetheless, you know, with Keke and Baby Daddy situation, so that's sad. We don't even know his name. But, you know, I wish them the best, and I think that they have a beautiful family and a beautiful, and it looked like a beautiful thing, but we don't know what goes on behind closed doors. But it looked like it was a beautiful thing, and I really, really hope that they can work through this, and I really hope that there's a level of counseling or something that could come in and help in the situation. I really do. But if all else fails and they can't get a solid ground in this, I wish Keke the best, baby girl. You go ahead and you live your best life, and don't you let nobody stop you. And that's from one mother to another mother. One mother in the industry to another mother in the industry. Don't let nobody stop you. And I know she's not. Because Keke very strong and powerful. And she's been holding down a lot of people for a long time. So she has people and family she takes care of. So I don't see her stopping. But I know it hurt for her, because I know for her, she's like, I take care of you, I take care of this family, I take care of so many others, and I just loved you, and I just wanted a man to just love me and let me be me. And I thought that was you that would just let me be me. And now I got this baby, and now I find out you really aren't that guy that's going to just let me be me. And that's hard. It's hurting. And I can only imagine how she's cried. But she's had to keep a straight face for y'all. But behind closed door, I'm sure she's cried about it. Whew. Y'all don't know how hard it is, baby. Y'all don't know how hard it is to be a successful black woman. And I honestly hate this for her. I hate it for her. People don't know how hard it is to be a beautiful, successful, strong black woman. Because people see us and think that we are not deserving of just pure, organic, authentic love, when that's all we seek. And it breaks my heart, because I feel like she felt that. And yet that's not it. So I shed a tear for you, Keke, because I know how you probably feel right now. There's nothing worse than having a baby in your arms while you feel it. But one thing I can say, sis, you got this, and you're going to push through. And why? Because you have an army and a tribe of people and women who are behind you and supporting you and rooting you on and love you and care for you and got your back. So this one should be okay for you, Keke. I, on the other hand, didn't have that. So it was much more harder. Much more harder and hurtful experience. But Keke, you'll be able to get through this for sure. For sure. And I wish you nothing but the best. You and that little baby Leo. And I pray to God that you're able to make the absolute best decision for you and little Leo. And that whatever happens, that the beauty of God, family, and blessings and humility is received in this, and lessons to be learned in this. I'm praying for them. I'm praying for them. And I pray that their family makes it through this. It's just unfortunate that this is happening in the time frame that it's happening, because this is supposed to be Keke's glorious moment of glow up and just glowing and just greatness. And I've just been really enjoying seeing these posts of seeing her just glowing and living her best life and just looking at the beauty of this baby being presented on her. And then just seeing like, okay, she got a family, and just feeling like this is going to be good. And it broke my heart to see this, because I don't want to see no bad nothing about her right now, because it's just a beautiful moment of her and her beauty and her greatness. And I hate to see the enemy always want to come in and try to ruin something good. Mess up a moment of her shine. And now take away from us just being in awe, enamored by her and her greatness. And now we got to be like, oh, yeah, you know that ex. I don't need. Why we even got to talk about him in this situation? Because this is supposed to be her moment. I hate jealousy and envy. It comes to rob and steal, man. And sir, I'm gonna leave it on this note. If you really love your family and you want Keke to operate as quote unquote what you would call mother, which is really in your eyes wife, as my girl Beyonce would say, if you like it, then you should have put a ring on it. You should have put a ring on it. Oh, oh, oh. And that's all I'm going to say. And maybe you might have felt like you didn't have enough money to get her the ring that she deserves. But you should have figured out something. Took out a loan. Did whatever. Even if you had to get her something that would just get through until you can get more money to get something else, then you should have done that. But I must say, you had no grounds to speak in the way that you did, especially about her being your woman and your family, if you haven't made her a wife. Stop claiming things in your mind. Because we live in this generation where it's, well, I'll just, in my head, this is our family. No. Single is single. You're dating, single. Boyfriend, girlfriend, single. Fiance, single. The only time that you are connected and two becomes one is marriage. That's when you become one. That is how you become family. And this is the unfortunate side of when you're playing house, laying up with a man or a woman in the house, and y'all doing housely, wifely things together, chores, holding each other down, watching the baby, cooking, cleaning, doing all these things, and living husband and wife without actually being husband and wife. This is where things get misconstrued. This is where things get twisted. Because in fact, if she was married, then this thing would be a completely different tune. In that situation, Keke would really actually be in trouble. And she would have actually been in the wrong for going out, being a mother and a wife, wearing that outfit in front of a man like Usher himself. And don't get me wrong, it wouldn't have been bad if it was something that was, agreed upon between the husband and wife. Then cool, fine, whatever. If he would have said, go ahead, baby, have a good time, whatever. Who cares? Russell Wilson had no issue with Sierra walking across the red carpet half naked. He ain't tripping, Every man's different now. But if he had that approach, it would have been a different tune. But if his demeanor was the same way and she was in fact actually married to this man, then it would be a different response that we would have for Keke. We would have to say, all right, Keke, now you kind of did disrespect your husband like that. It'd be a little different. But because it's not that, then we can't operate and we can't see it as the same. We can't. So, I'm going to end it on this note to say, don't date under, date at equal value, and even higher. But even higher, you still run your chances, but date at equal value. I know it seems like it's easier to make sense to date somebody that's younger or lesser than you, and you can build them up, but you have to really weigh the options. If that person is really going to love you and honor you with that, or hate you and want to destroy you with it later. So your best bet is stay equal. Date someone equally eloped. Okay? Date someone where you guys can be on the same page and understand each other. Dating someone who's been in the industry and understands how things work. Because if she was with him and he understood fully how things work, then he would have known. You don't get in front of social media and do that. And in fact, I personally think that he knew that. That's why he did it and went in social media, so that he could be able to get in some attention, finally, for whatever he felt. But anybody else that's been in entertainment knows when it comes to press and tabloids, the last thing you want to do is give them anything. Heck, sometimes you don't even feel like letting them know that you out here feeding the homeless, because, they could twist that into something, So everybody knows. The last thing you want to do is give tabloids something to just run with, So, I end this to say, I wish them the best. I pray to God that you intercede and intercept in the situation and give them some level of covering so that they can work through, Father God, in the name of Jesus. I'm tired of seeing broken Black homes, but at the same time, I'm not pressed to force her to be in a situation that could eventually not be healthy and toxic for her and that baby. So, Lord, lead her and align her in the right place where she needs to be, and to be able to be with someone that will fully love her wholeheartedly and not harbor any type of insecurities deep down within inside of them to lash out on her. I pray a covering over her and that baby so that they can be able to walk in pure bliss. And I pray for someone to fully come in and to love her for who she is without feeling the need to change her. I pray a covering over that baby's heart so that he is okay in the midst of this while his parents are going through this. And may he not be affected by this in any way, shape, or form. Hallelujah, Lord. Thank you, Father. I give you all the honor and the glory. In Jesus' mighty name I pray. Amen. 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 Wishing you guys the best. All right, y'all. That's my take on Miss Keke Palmer. Y'all be blessed. Love y'all. Bye now.